A blessed good morning to you all. I was just doing a little bit of a live thing there on Facebook on Bealtaine Cottage Goddess Gardens, and sitting in a slightly different spot because I'm sat here on the veranda of the lodge, as you can see. And then I finished the little recording, the little live thing, and I thought, I was just sitting here, and I thought, my word, look at all the birds. The birds are flitting everywhere. So I thought I'll go in and get the camera and I'll make a short video on this beautiful Sunday morning here in the west of Ireland, where autumn seems to have begun to open up a palette of colours that are almost unbelievable. They're just they're going from the subtle to the absolutely outrageous. Amazing colours. And there's so many birds around. Now you can see them move, well you can hear them move. They're not making a lot of noise in terms of tweeting and twittering and singing and calling to each other, because of course they don't at this time of the year. It's a quieter, sort of a gentler time. But it's just amazing to watch them. Isn't this amazing? So, I'm just holding the camera and pointing it just straight ahead. Now, I've been fairly busy on Twitter this morning because, of course, I post as many images as I can on Twitter and Facebook because it's so important to share these images, because I think that by sharing it encourages people to plant trees, which is the thread that connects everything I do on social media. It's all about planting trees. Well, not just trees, but just planting. Leave no space unplanted except the path where you want to walk. Still hear the occasional bee, of course, and if you look over there, just close in a wee bit, at the sedum, this of course represents the last great feast for the bees and the butterflies and all the little insects. That sedum, which is called Autumn Spectabilis, is absolutely loaded with nectar. Loaded with it. So, of course, virtually all the bees here at Bealtaine Cottage are wild bees. So, in that respect, they're solitary bees. And they're the ones who go into hibernation for the winter. And when they awaken, because it's the food that they have in their bellies that keeps them going through the whole winter. They're also, of course, carrying the next generation, and the next generation is within them, already fertilized. But when they awake from their slumber, hopefully coinciding with the first few days of the Celtic spring, which begins in February the 1st, by the way, Imok. When they awaken, they have in their little stomachs almost exactly 40 minutes worth of energy, of food left. So they have 40 minutes in which to find a shot of nectar. If they don't, they die. Now are you beginning to understand the importance of planting? Because if we're mindful of these small but very important points, for lack of a better word, if we're mindful of this, then we'll plant accordingly. So wherever you live, try to ensure that what you plant has food for the bees and the wasps and the butterflies and the insects, but is a source of food for others than yourself. From as early on in the year to the very end. Even here in Ireland you can get plants and shrubs that will continue to flower all the way through the winter. So for the odd little bumblebee or little wild insect or bee that's been disturbed and has awoken, there'll be a source of food for them. I've been mindful of this for the past 14 years of the Bealtaine Project. And because I've been mindful of it and I've planted accordingly, there has been an increasing, I mean a really fast increasing, just watching these birds. There's been a fast increasing what's the word? Family of life. I suppose that's as good a term as any. Scientists would say, oh, the biodiversity has increased. Well, sometimes I listen to that and I think blah, blah, blah. I'd say the family of life. And the family of life should be the biggest family that there is. And it should be increasing, and there should be, you know, Mother Earth can carry an inordinate amount of life. Spaceship Earth. She can carry the most inordinate amount of life. Three little acres here carries as much life as would cover probably 30 acres. It's all sort of squeezed in to Bealtaine Cottage. Where else can it go? For life to exist and for life to flourish, it needs two things. It needs food and water. And we as a species have been obsessed with providing food and water for ourselves. Well, actually, no, I tell a lie. Providing food for ourselves, getting as much water and bottling it as possible, and using the rest in the most disgusting ways. We mix drinking water in with our human waste. We think that's okay. It's ridiculous. This is ridiculous. The world is short of water. What should we do? Oh, I know what we'll do. We'll take really good drinking water and we'll mix it with as much human waste as possible and pollute it to hell. As I said before, I pee in a bucket at night and in the morning. And where do you think all this incredible fertility and life and everything you see comes from? Well, it doesn't just come from that, but I certainly help it along. I dare say Adam and Eve didn't have a flush toilet in the Garden of Eden. That's the point. Now there's something worth pondering. Oh, look how the sun's coming out now. Gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Just beautiful. Guess what I'm wearing? Yes, you've guessed right. I'm still in my gym jams. Disgraceful woman that I am. I'm shameless. Now just look at the sun on the other side of the Laurel Arch there. Isn't that beautiful? And the way the rain on the leaves is just capturing the light. Incredible. Oh my. Well, on this beautiful Sunday morning, Jack's trying to catch flies. On this beautiful Sunday morning at Bealtaine Cottage in the west of Ireland, where Lunasa is just dancing along towards the equinox, just dancing along to it, enjoying every beautiful moment of life before that beautiful sleep comes. Just enjoying it. Of course the little birds won't be going to sleep anytime soon. So that reminds me, I must get to the garden centre today and see if I can't order a great big sack of peanuts. Because in previous years, of course, I mean, there's been so much food here for the birds. There's no shortage of food here for the birds, with all the berries and all the mushrooms and all the insects, and there's a butterfly there, and all the life. But Bealtaine Cottage is becoming a bit of an ark. And I noticed that over the winter there's more and more birds come here to sort of overwinter. So I've got to go and get that big sack of peanuts because I want to make sure that there's plenty and plenty of food for them. Plenty of food. And that this little Earthship of Bealtaine Cottage will be able to carry them through to the spring and another beautiful year. So, just loving the day that's in it, and blessings to you all.